Hey guys, me again with another YouTube video. This is going to be another one of those pretty exciting videos. This is another one of those those models that everything just went together right. I think the funny thing is this is another Black Ops 3 model, and a lot of my Black Ops 3 models are some of the best models I've ever built. I find that to be kind of interesting and funny at the same time because I complain about those guns some of the most out of any of the guns that I've ever built. And that's just kind of the weird thing about the Black Ops 3 guns in general, I guess. But before we get into the model itself, please guys remember to share this video with everyone that you know. Watch it all the way through. The more minutes that we rack up, the more hours we get, the closer we get to the 400 goals that I can stay in the partnership program. And it would mean an absolute lot to me if we could stay in that program. So let's do it, guys. Come on, we can do it. Anyhow, here we go. Here is the HVK-30 from Black Ops 3. This was another one of those guns that ended up on the back burner for a very long time, and I never went back and I finished, or never wanted to finish. And then I ended up going back and finishing, and I'm pretty happy that I did because it turned out as probably one of the best guns that I've ever actually gone back and finished. And I think the most interesting thing is that there are actually quite a few different working features on this gun, surprisingly. I actually started on purpose with the barrel open so that everyone can see that the handguard itself does open like it's supposed to, to expose the barrel, I guess, as a heating thing. One moment, and we will continue. And see that there's some discoloration issues in the model. In particular, you can see like right here, I missed that. Some of the barrel I actually had to color black because I missed some of that, but that's easy fixes. So you can see that these actually open up like they're supposed to. If we backtrack here, you can see where I came through and I recolored the barrel. And you can see that they close up like they're supposed to as well, and they make this just wonderfully executed curve throughout the model itself. I'm really happy with how I got all the vents to kind of line up and look like they're supposed to. It's just, I really like this. The barrel and muzzle brake are pretty basic, to be honest. There's really nothing going on here. The gas adjustment is pretty interesting as well. I actually left it so that this piece can turn to different gas settings if that's what it was really intended to do. I have no idea. It seems like that's what it was for, so I left it so that I could do that. 3 stud wide rail on bottom and a 3 stud wide rail on top, though this rail is a slightly different rail. It's just there's no grooves in this one, it's just straight lanes. I did not make sights for this. At the time of making this gun, I was super done with the gun. I really just could not be bothered to go back and make sights for it, so I apologize for that, but I think you guys can forgive me with how just immaculate this gun actually looks and is ultimately. There's a lot of stud transitions going on, so try to keep up with me. The upper rail right through here is 3 studs. This bottom portion is 5 studs. The charging handle is 3. The bolt is 2. This portion back here is 5. On the inside here, we get down to 4. On the bottom here, we're still at 4. We get into some 2s through here. We're down to 4 here, 2 here. The mag well is a 4 and then plus plates on the side to accept a 3 stud wide magazine in an almost 4 stud wide space. It's just slightly over 4 stud wide space, but it's not quite a 5 stud wide space. The grip itself is actually 3 studs wide. The trigger guard is 1 stud wide, and then the This back portion of the trigger guard is 2 studs. The trigger itself is obviously 1 stud. There is a absolute lot going on with this weapon. Oh, butt pad, 4 stud. Just in case you guys were wondering, there is an absolute godly amount of stone transitions going on this weapon itself, and I think it worked out very well. Dust cover is pretty basic dust cover. It just pops up in front of the shell ejection port. I'm trying to get it to rotate on over there. Come on, keep going, keep going, keep going. As you can see, it just closes up the shell ejection port. You can open it. The charging handle connects to the boat, as you can see, in this fashion. There's actually, you can see that the bolt itself has this hook on it. So basically what this allows you to do is you can pull the bolt back. If there's a bolt catch, you could lock the bolt in place, and then you could slide the charging handle forward without having to move the bolt at all. So that's how that works, in case you guys were wondering. 5 stud wide receivers through here. There's a little bit of detailing going on with all these lines, the colors. All of that was super difficult to do. On this side in particular, it was pretty hard to get all of this in there without messing up the space for the bolt. The magwell is by far one of the most delicate things that I've ever made. I have the grooves in the front here. I have all the necessary cutouts in the magwell itself. All of this detailing through here was pretty hard to do, like this shaping and everything that you see. It was just all, it was pretty difficult. It was definitely worth my time and going through and trying to make it all look like it should. Even better is that we actually have, oh, sorry about that. Whatever, it doesn't matter. We have a 3 stud wide magazine that is for a 10 long. So this is a 3x10 magazine. These would have gone right there just fine. Stupid game, stupid LED. Yeah, so working magazine. There's no magazine release because I think it was this thing, but I wasn't entirely sure, and it's on both sides. So like I said, I wasn't really sure. I think this is the overall area that they press when they go to release the magazine. I don't know how I would have incorporated that, to be quite honest. It would have been interesting to see how. But no magazine release. It's just held in with friction as of right now. Should be pretty easy. Trigger is a brick-built trigger. I tried to get as much of the whole detailing going into it as much as possible so that it looks nice and wonderful. And I actually really like how this looks kind of silhouetted with everything. I think it looks great. Grip is 3 stud wide. The back is just offset by 1 plate. The front is not. This is, as a 3 stud wide grip, would be one of the most comfortable because, like I said, it's 3 studs wide, it's rounded in the back. It'd be great. A lot of small details going through here. Small stud transitions, like going from 4 stud in the front and then back to 2 studs down here. Small holes here. This entire crack right here was a big pain to do. Small screw details on the bottom. Hole here, hole here. So like I said, a lot of these small details that really go underappreciated, but are super, super important to the overall looks and aesthetic of the model. This right here was pretty interesting to do because I needed this to come up and make this color and shape, but I couldn't figure out how to do it until then. A lot of very small details going on through here. A lot of small stud transitions. You can see some of the sloping coming up, some of the lines back here, some of the sloping coming up through here, and this 4 stud wide transition area. 3 stud wide cheek rest up here is smoothed out with cheese wedges so that it feels great once you're leaning up against it with your cheek. The stock itself is a pretty basic stock. It has 2 points of attachment up here and down here. And it's all nice and rounded in most of the angles so that it feels great against the shoulder. This is, by and large, one of the best models I've ever made on the channel. Like I said, though, a lot of my Black Ops 3 models are the Vesper, the Cuda, the Pharaoh, the Locust, the KN-44, the LCAR9. A lot of them are just, like I said, some of the best models that I've ever made for this channel itself, and this is no exception. So if you guys like this video, please, 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 please share it with someone else so that they can see it and they can enjoy it too. Any Black Ops 3 fans out there, I know Treyarch's Call of Duty is coming out this year. It's rumored to be a Black Ops 4. Come on, guys, just kind of do what you got to do. I'm really trying to get to these 400 watch hours. If you can share this around on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, whatever place you can share it, please do so that we can grab these 400 watch hours. I put a lot of work into these models, and I would really, really like to own some of these in real life at some point in time. We got that ball rolling with the SMG-11. Unfortunately, if I get departnered, we lose that ability. So please, guys, please share this around with as many people as you can. Thanks so much for watching. Remember, come rate and subscribe.